Welcome ladies and gentlemen, my name is Prestige and today we'll be trying to beat Elden Ring Nightreign within 100 in-game days. Let's get straight into it. So the game starts us off with a tutorial, teaches us the basics, then like any Souls game should, tosses us straight into an unbeatable boss fight, followed by a cutscene.
It was a misinput, calm down!
Never ceases to hate on the Great Tarnish. God, whip is so bad we see the light.
Long ago,
These nuts!
the lands between were visited by a great war. The Shattering, as it was known, destroyed order itself, drawing forth in time an abomination.
So yeah, after a huge war, some type of interdimensional issue happened, and now we're stuck with the Night Lords, and only the Nightfarers, the characters we play as, can oppose them.
Alas, the curtain may be drawing to a close upon this world.
Not on my watch. Look at this aura farming start. They all walk out, then he runs super fast, catch up to the hawk. French kiss. Starting off, I played with my friends, and one of which said we needed to go to the church.
Let's go!
Which was way out of the way and not really buy anything good, so I learned first day not to go across the map for church until grabbing some levels at least. We can make our way there. Going to the church during runs is pretty important though, because it's the only way to get an extra flask to the starting 4 you have, and each church you go to is an extra flask. Going to the abandoned church, we found these bubble guys, my first boss, and gave them the business. Following it up, I was lucky enough to fight the disgusting worm face, and we punished him too.
Hey, did V go off?
Running into a demi-human queen, I tested out my ultimate ability, which is turning into a beast. So bro, just like me for real. Night boss number 1 was the bell-bearing hunter. We sealed him, everything was good. I was going beast mode, putting ball to ass. This dude come out the wall and suckered me. Big ass gray sword looking like guts. There's not even bell bearings in this game. What is he hunting? Alas, I was picked back up and we started jumping him like a Jujutsu Kaisen. With this aura farming move, he dropped me. And that was Murder She Wrote. Homie tried to help me and the hunter got him off with his Darth Vader grip from a distance. And boom, dropped him just like that. Like damn, he got dropped. Eventually the mage died too. So yeah, we failed, but on to day 2. Starting day 2, I was feeling good, but I knew that unlike the first run, I couldn't run all the way to the church, so we went to the closest thing, and it was an abandoned church. We cleared some mob, and then fought the golem in it. He took a bit longer than I expected him to. If I'm being honest, he took way longer than I expected him to, but we were level 1 to be fair, so it's a given. I was indeed dropped in the process, but we ultimately beat the tanky boy. Seeing that there's another church right by us, we go in. It's the same bubble blowers, so we make quick work of them. At this point, I got another katana so I can double katana. This guy resembles the guys from Elden Ring that are creepy and can eat you, but he can't actually do that. He does exactly what his name says, and that's just swing his sickles. Pretty lame boss, but quick low clear. Roaming around, we run into an elder lion, not too hard of a boss. Pretty easy if I say so myself. Just look at those parries. Realizing I was fighting him with beauty and all the parries, I had to turn into the beast and
Now, I'm really mad!
Start laying the smackdown, beast to beast action. Like, just look at this. This is some shit you can't even see on the Geographic show. It's the shit that the Nature Channel don't want to show you. Absolutely brutal. After I alpha'd, outmowed that lion, this little raid thing happened. They're different. There's hands this time. You gain the power. It was nothing too important. Just stance. Moving along. Whatever. I was just trying to aura farm and here comes this stupid skeleton. And now look at him. Look at where I got him. My teammate opened up an ever jail and I knew exactly what I had to do. Started putting that katana down. Slicing left, right, and center. Nobody was safe. Even more slices than Kimbo out here. Swinging my sword like Prime Afro Samurai, swinging my sword like Huey in that one episode. You remember when he was fighting Stink Meaner? Beating Everjail enemies normally just gives you runes or something useless, so like 99% of the time I take runes. My teammate was able to get Ronnie's eyes open, which I still haven't figured out, but if you get to the very top, you get your pick from some weapons, and depending on your class, it can be talismans. I had the great idea to kill some extra mobs, but it cost me very dearly, because the storm caught up with me and it was not playing with me. Completely dropped me, meaning I lost a level. When you die, you lose a level. The Night 2 boss that I had, technically Night 1 in this, Night 2 boss, was just a Swordmaster onesie and the demi-human, which both got the belt. I handed it to them. They both got smacked up. First the Swordmaster, then the demi. It was lightware. On to day 3. So it's day 3 now. The first thing I wanted to do was start dropping some bodies, so that's exactly what I did. I went to the catacomb, laid some waste to a burial tree dog or whatever they're called, fought some banished knights. They are rather difficult, I'm not going to lie. I might have lost to one, got dropped or so, but none of that matters. That's just he say, she say. Moving along. I found this great sword. I'm only showing you it because it's the only time you'll see it in this video. My teammates started to fight a Black Knight Kindred, and it honestly started to go good. This Black Blade didn't seem like he was a real match for me. Then the tide shifted, and he started to completely whoop us silly. We stood absolutely no chance. I went down the first time. My teammate got knocked on his ass, got back up, came to try to save me. He got it off. We started to beat him. Went horrible. We ended up dying. You already know we had to slide back for our vengeance, though. We couldn't go out like that. No way, sir. He really is a hard boss to fight, though. I wouldn't recommend fighting him under like level 8.
Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, Republic, Dominican, Cuba, Caribbean, Greenland, El Salvador, too.
Made that pussy nail like he Kaepernick. Yeah. Finding a village to pillage. They call me Genghis Khan. I do just that. Start clearing out the soldiers, then find yet another elder lion, which I had to show him who the real alpha is. At the end, I was kind of running and letting my archer carry, but game is game. With the storm on my caboose, it was time to go to fight the Night 3 boss fight. On the way, these ugly omen guys got conjured up, so I had to make quick work of they oversized asses anyway. Like, this is not the set for my 600-pound life. I don't know what they doing here in the first place. Getting the boss fight is the fell omen, so I get my revenge for that tutorial. He will not get to throw those 3 blades at me once again.
It's payback time.
I wouldn't say he's a hard boss fight, but I'd say that his mobility and ability to hit everyone at once does get pretty tiring to put up against, but with some patience, he normally is pretty easy to kill. But once you do enough damage, he has like a second phase where he ends up putting blood on the sword, slicing, and it's like an attack on everywhere. I don't even know what to explain this. And I think it only really focuses one person though. I could be wrong, but from what I've seen, it seems to only focus one person. Go in beast mode, me and this trash can start absolutely throwing down. Why were we going? Actually, my transformation wore out, but he dropped before me. And boom, with Murder She Wrote, I started whipping this boy. Then he picked me up with his sword and kind of slammed me on the ground. I thought that was game over, but I survived it and he got finished, so who got the last laugh? So this, ladies and gentlemen, is night 4. My first attempt fighting the Night Lord. The fight actually started off extremely good. My teammates were doing insane damage. Everything was perfect. But this fight wakes you up to how difficult the game is supposed to be. The dog has 3 heads because it splits when it hits its second phase so that it can effectively go after everyone better. But the dogs can overlap and whatnot. But the first phase is a pretty good fight. I enjoyed it. The second phase though is pretty punishing. We gave this fight everything we could. When he hit the second phase, I realized the best thing that I could do with the executioner class is just ultimate, because I wasn't gonna parry much. So we had a beast to beast moment. Of course I showed him who the big alpha was, but he gets to hold on to his form longer than I do, so he got lucky this time. It is what it is. But yeah, all in all, this game was more of just a wake-up call, because we gave him the business for the most part, but this boss was just a little more nuts than we were expecting. And also, we could have been a better level. Like, bro, I know you're seeing this. I'm getting attacked by a pack of dogs. Oh yeah, this is the end result. On to day 5. Day 5, I was playing no games. I landed and started putting the pause on everything I came in contact with. The animation is so damn clean.
I'm gonna come.
My teammate got obliterated after being swarmed by a mob, and I was trying to get him, but I guess with the Wilder beat me to it. It is. But we clear out this place and move along. Jumping down the giant hole leads to a boss fight, which I didn't know yet, but didn't really matter to me because I was too busy doing this. With the storm closing in, my team decided to stop at a camp. Being the pumpkin head, I just knew that I had to go beast mode to put the pause on him real quick. But after I got that chump up out the way, I had to kill the actual bosses that we came here for in the first place. Tried to sneak attack me, but we put them to rest pretty quick. Going in the mine, you can pretty often find a smithing stone just laid on the ground, or killing certain bosses get you a smithing stone too to turn your weapon from blue to purple, and the basic one turns your weapon from gray to blue. Running into a misbegotten, me and my team disperse him pretty quickly. After some more scavenging, we run back into the sickle monster himself and put him to rest out of his misery, because he's got to be sick out of misery. Just look at this everything. There's always 2 or so enemies in the group of enemies that you fight before the boss actually spawns in, and they're so much stronger than the other enemies that they spawned in with, and it's just so irritating. Like, why can these guys blast? They can jump over and just blast on you to stop all that damage you've done. Like, what? And before you say, yes, I know that they can do that in the real Elden Ring too. After yet again getting the bell-bearing hunter, I knew things had to go different. I went beast mode and started putting the belt to ass. Then after I came out, I just watched my teammate get slammed, got in my sucker hits, and we all just started jumping that man with everything we had. But is it enough? Long story short, yes it was. We are going to day 6, people. Day 6. Remembering I got a stone sword key, my goal was opening this ever jail. Opening it though, my teammates weren't with me, so I put in as much work as I possibly could. I started trying to take them all one by one. It kind of seemed like they were waiting for me, and boom, I lost the 1v1. It was looking grim. My teammate pulled up, picked me up, and we started to whoop them once again. They barely stood a chance. Just look at them trying to run. Just look at him. I started to pick him off one by one, but yeah, you smacked me back down, I can't lie. Like, you got me good. But my teammate got me even better, smacking me back up. And boom, we took him out. That's my ever goal cleared. Moving along, we ended up finding a trash sentinel. And boy, he was hard to beat, but he eventually went down. Following the mythical trash sentinel pull, we get the almighty Elder Lion, who yet again were just begging to be out alpha in mode. so I had my rivers of blood do the job for me. Just playing. I actually had to run from the storm, so he got lucky this time.
Gotcha, bit.
So at this point, we just run around the map and just start farming up for the final boss fight.
Tracer.
I'm already Tracer.
What about Widowmaker?
I'm already Widowmaker.
I'll Tracer.
I'm already Tracer.
What about Widowmaker?
I'm already Widowmaker.
I'll copy.
The day 6 boss is none other than the Fell Omen yet again. Margaret just can't catch enough of these hands. At this point, I was feeling far more used to his moveset.
Stop the cap! Stop the cap right now! Stop the cap!
So I wasn't really stressing. I knew that I would dust him. And yeah, with time, I was able to. I just couldn't get too greedy. And I was hoping my teammates just knew that too. But ultimately, we punished this guy and we made it to the final Night Lord yet again. The question is, can I beat him though? Honestly, this Night Lord is a long, drawn-out battle that feels like the second you get greedy, it's just over. I did my best to chase him around, but the more he aggroes on your teammates, is just the harder it really is to catch up. This point I had the Rivers of Blood, so I was pretty confident of just spamming it till again my mana's out, because I don't carry Starlight Shards or anything, so there's no way to just regain my mana. But we also started to shred his health at unbelievably fast speeds, which had me so happy. But yeah, the split up was pretty serious because more than one dog can come at you at the same time, which gets pretty annoying. These things are just chasing you. It's just 3 mutts with rabies. I had to show them who the top alpha is, who invented the rabies, but at this point I was just trying to make my team aggro them so I could run away, and it chased me. Coming out and getting that critical was beautiful. I felt just so in touch with the controller during this boss fight. Like, just look at me out there flowing. A real G in these streets. But after quite a while, we did indeed beat this Night Lord. So on day 7, we dropped a Night Lord. Making some good progress, people. On to day 8. My teammates were ignoring me, so trying to get them to follow me, I tried to open an Ever Jail, but instead I got a fight that I was not prepared for, so I did the mad dash on his ass. Seeing my teammates were still quite a bit away, so I just started to farm for a little bit, and then we met back up to jump the Goofy out of this Night Cavalry because he was solo dolo in the wrong hood. Clearly I went beast mode on it. Then I ran into some of the fat Albinurics, had to drop him too. An Elder Lion, so obviously I had to show him who the real Elder Alpha was if the storm didn't get in the way. Man, these black Wendigo skinwalker looking things are devious. The night boss ended up being this like ginormous spider that like spits out webs and has a bunch of mini spiders try to jump you throughout the entire fight, but it only takes damage from hitting it right on the head. It has 2 heads, but 1 head falls off during the fight, and once the head falls off, it'll normally go into second phase and just string up a whole bunch of webs all over the place, making it harder for you to move, and you gotta automatically fat roll. But we clear him up, get him out of here. We start off day 9 with the ancient hero Zamor, who was obviously no match for the great samurai.
Stop the cap!
Okay, so maybe he was. It is whatever. I started to just farm these red guys, and like quite a bit. I was on their asses. I was going from red dude to red dude. Anything red was getting pulverized, I can't lie. I was acting like I was a blood hunter or something. I don't know what was up with me. I was just checking them all. After I got finished giving the straight business to the red dudes, I decided to fight a demi-human, and my teammates still weren't linking up with me, so I had to solo dolo it. I don't know what was up with them. Maybe I was just riding too dirty. They weren't trying to ride along. It is what it is. The demi-human was obviously no match for the great samurai neither. Had to clear her up, get her out of here, and then move on. At this point, I was just trying to run from the circle and got devious backshots from the Red Wolf, who really wanted to smoke with me, but I wasn't about it at all. We're just trying to get to the circle. Killed one ogre, the rest of us start geeking out. So the day 9 night boss was an ancient dragon. It doesn't have fire, but it can use red lightning to its advantage. It just has a whole bunch of its magic attacks. So its claw hits can use red lightning, and it can hit the ground and it will send out like a bunch of claws. They're easy to avoid, but because of the levels and our weapons not being upgraded because we didn't grab smithing stones, it took quite a while, but it was eventually doable. But yeah, after he was done pimp slapping me, we put an end to him, and you get to find out that's a 2-in-1 boss fight. You get to fight a Crucible Knight right after, who ends up having a second phase once you get enough health off of him.
Talo! Sorry.
And upon hitting that second phase, not only does he grow the wings and a crucible tail, but he also summons in a golden hippopotamus, which I normally just solo to get aggro off so that my teammates can kill the Crucible Knight, but sometimes I need to help them more than others. It is what it is. This is how they try to cope with it being 3 people, but sometimes I can just lose the aggro too anyways, and the golden hippopotamus will be fighting me and just go right back to them even though it's on me. But yeah, I was kind of getting whooped trying to revive my teammates, but I still got it off because I'm him. Had to go beast mode, but this was a sacrifice because I got dropped in the process. Being brought back, I was mostly just playing defense so that he could try to bring up our teammate, which he eventually did. At this point I kind of realized taking aggro wasn't enough and that I needed to jump to Crucible Knight with them and also get on the golden hippopotamus and just make this fight go faster because it's taking forever. Someone goes down yet again. I get him up, go back at the golden hippo. At this point I realize that they're going to die at around the same time, but I myself go down. At this point I was real worried, and my biggest fear came true. We died on day 9. I utilized relics because I realized that you get them after winning a game and I just haven't been using them yet. So on to day 10, my friends. At this point we started to clear a camp. I was moving aggressive, but my teammates were moving too aggressive trying to fight a gargoyle, which was just too much for us at level 1. So I tried to get them up and dip, but I ended up falling in lava and that was all she wrote. Just playing. I got picked up. Psych, we all got dropped. That was really all she wrote. So I decided not to come back with them and go do my own thing. They weren't trying to complete me, and the Beastman was just too much also at level 1. So I tried to get an Everjail to get their attention, but they just never came in time. Then yeah, the night 1 boss at like level 2. This boss really doesn't have much but like a rush and like a move that can eat you. So it took a while because of our low level, but we got him out of here, took him out. And now on to day 2 because nothing important really happened. So day 11 out of 100. At first we were taking out these bums. Standard so like NPCs, nothing too serious. And the night 2 boss we got was the battlefield commander. So he just summons in these bums to fight us, and then it's easier to take out the bums than fight him, but I'll normally just try to solo him as my teammates try to take out the things he summoned. It all depends on how your teammates want to approach the fight. And on this day we chose death. So on that note, on to day 12. Day 12 started off horribly as I literally got fingered to death over and over, and I just kept coming back for more, like the good boy that I am, I guess, because I just never learned my lesson. But eventually I got tired of getting fingered down and went to go help my teammates, and at that point we fought a Royal Revenant and we were under leveled, so it was kind of giving us the belt. After getting back up, I continued a lengthy battle, get up my teammate, and we finally put the Excalibur through this tub of lard, sit his fat ass down because he needed to be sat down, and we move along. Getting the same spider boss, he was pretty light work. I kind of wish we were a little bit higher level, but we were fine. The next day, day 13, my teammate had a stone sword key, so we instantly went to go open it and got met with some crystallians that we had to put down. Had to go crush some rock, make some diamond. Still angry about the back shots I got in a prior game. I took it all out on this Red Wolf. Had to give him the mean shots. Although he wasn't going out like no punk, I can't lie. He was flying all around magic. Like, just look at that. Bro's moving all majestically. But he still got put down. It was nothing new. Going to like this underground place, we see this fat dude, and who got him in this red tight dress? The dress ain't even tight. It's baggy, but it's tight on his big self. Like, geez Louise. Give your stomach some room to breathe. At this point, we do Elden Ring's favorite pastime, platforming, followed by some adventuring, leading straight to a magma worm, because you know the Souls-like logic. If you go looking for trouble, you will definitely find it. We honestly start doing pretty decent, but then it starts to fall apart. We still try to hold our own for quite a while, but this battle lasts far too long, ultimately making us have to leave because of the storm incoming. I fell off the Spectral Hawk many times without pressing anything. I don't even know what actually happened, but then yeah, we were faced with yet another dragon, but we were better leveled this time, so I was happier. As you can tell, this is more of your fire-breathing Neanderthal dragon. Not too smart. After you kill him, it's yet the same thing. You get jumped by these two, which honestly felt better playing as the archer instead of playing as the executioner, because getting them from a range was easier than always trying to get up close. But it wasn't too easy with two enemies. The Crucible Knight did kind of just lay off, but I can't say the same about the Golden Hippopotamus. He kept aggroing me the entire time. But I was eventually able to still pick them up. It didn't matter too much. After quite a bit of a hassle, we finally dropped the Golden Hippopotamus and Crucible Knight, moving us on to the final night boss. Day 14. Honestly, Night Lord number 2 was doing good. I was getting damage from a distance, and he starts to focus me, and I was getting right out of the way. I was feeling smooth as a criminal. But then it starts to slowly go down the second he hits that second phase, and he turns all meteoric. The meteoric back shots were a little more than my team were really capable of handling. But I persisted on, tried to pick him up when I could, and just kept on trying to do as much far range damage as possible. Ultimately, he pulled out a move that crushed up the ground and pulled up, and it was just too much for us. The next 3 days was the exact same thing. We got to day 17, then the same thing happened. It is what it is. But we honestly started to get on just a cold streak, and by we, I mean me and all the randoms that I was playing with. And note to self, never use this big bow again. It takes way too long to shoot. The Tibia boss fight spawns in with some skeletons, and I thought nothing of it. My teammate went down, and I was helping him, and the Tibia has always been an easy boss fight, and he still pretty much is. The skeletons make it a bit annoying, but it's just a bit of mod to distract you, because it's 3 people fighting on one boss. It is what it is. He was doing good. I'm dropping him left and right, and then all of a sudden, because my genius self didn't flask, I got overwhelmed and jumped. I just look how they snuck me, dog. He was waiting for that. He was for sure waiting for that. And my teammates don't do any better. They don't last much longer than me. At this point, I'm on night 22, getting slowly more and more irritated. This run was honestly pretty good. I thought that it was gonna be it. Playing as Raider is honestly real fun too. The double heavy weapons do a lot of damage. Raider is honestly one of my favorite classes, although I didn't play much in this video. With bosses that move around quite a bit, which is pretty much all of them though, it gets annoying. Like even the spider boss, it keeps turning when Raider trying to follow it. And yeah, for the second phase, if you're real good at dodging, Raider's probably the perfect character. But if you're not, it'll take a lot of damage. His poise makes it hard to actually knock him over, but I don't know, the man feels like you got a hitbox on him for sure. I was feeling like he was my only way to actually beat this character, and with 2 archers it felt doable. But slowly the cracks in our armor started to show, and this dinosaur thingy started to rip apart at it, I can't lie. A little time skipping. From now on I will be probably skipping a little bit just to get the watch time down. But day 26. First I start off with an ancestral spirit, with some light work. Took him out. Okay, maybe not light work, but we obviously still took him out. I thought it was pretty funny that I could just stay up here and just shoot at this stupid pumpkin head. The Blumpkin didn't know what hit him up until I just used my ult, being cocky, and just completely shattered the thing I was standing on. Night boss was pretty easy. It was just the 2 horseback riders and not sentinels, so they got dispatched pretty quickly. One down, 1 more to go. And yeah, it takes a bit of time, but when everyone's jumping them, they go down pretty easily. So dropping this Fortnite Black Knight, we're on to day 27. Starting off the day, we as aggressive as always, taking on some burial Erdtree dogs and their minions, I guess. Taking on the second one, I drop him pretty quick. My teammate comes to the rescue. We grab the loot. And then we get invaded by the Fell Omen himself. So at this point, I get to get my revenge for what he did to me in the tutorial, thinking it's just sweet. It's never sweet over here. Of course, his name's the Fell Omen with how many times I've dropped this guy. Ran into yet another red wolf, and even though they're so adorable, I had to put an end to them. Can't take no chances, I need them runes. Putting on the good boy, I fight this dragon yet again. I'm getting sick of its stupid face. But we pulverize him into the dust where he belongs. Another one bites it. And we're on to the night boss at this point. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, we are on day 29. Fighting Night Lord number 2. Starting off, we take out the nearest camp like always. Demolish them boys. And at this point, I was just in a farming mood, so anything in my way got smacked around. Ran into these bubble blowers. None of my bikini bottom, I had to take them out. These bubbles spawned in, and it leads to a night boss. He's pretty boring, honestly. He just spits this thing at you and has like this rushing forward move. He doesn't do too much damage, but his health is kind of long, so with all the movement, he did take a while to beat, but we took him out. The power you gain from him is good for mage builds because it makes your flask also restore FP, so mana on top of health. I find my teammate fighting a Crucible Knight, so I try to give him a hand. He goes down. I pick him up and I try to leave, but it's not that simple. I got battered. I try to run away, run into another Crucible Knight, so I try to jump out of his way. Boom, another one. Then he squares up with me. I'm a deflection god because Sekiro, psych, I'm starting to get dropped, so of course I just dip. Like, what's left to do? I try to get my teammates with me, so I was gonna go to the Ever Jail. One went down. I just went to the Storm. Ah, yes, my favorite. The Banisher Knight kinda starts putting the belt to me. Pretty grueling belt, but he was no match for thy strength. I eventually put him down. Keyword on the eventually. I just stood up and look at him already winding it up. He was so ready. But I was also ready. Bet he ain't never seen a beast like this. But then yeah, me and my teammates finally jumped and we put the belt to that boy. Being a battlefield commander was nothing new. It took quite a while because we were literally like level 1, but that's besides the point. We started to put the work on it. It just took a while. On to day 31. My team just kind of didn't roll with me on this day, so I just did my own thing. Went to the church, grabbed a flash, just killed some mob. Just did me for quite a while. It was a lonely road, but someone had to walk it. Real spiel. That's the deal. Eventually, after killing some mobs, I do meet back up with them. We storm the castle where I run into my good old buddy, the sweet hash slinging sickle, whatever the hell his name was. At this point, we grabbed the almighty Stone Sword key. So, using that ASAP, we got the Stone Sword Lords, who are actually a bit of a hassle to fight, I can't lie. Took quite a while. These boys are tanky. This honestly reminds me of like walking into like the wrong catacomb just to find the damn crystallians, and I ain't ready for that battle. But yeah, the end night boss, we got a magma worm. Nothing too serious, takes a while to put down, but get behind him and stay out that lava and put that work in, and goes down like a bag of rocks. Tail whip the shit out of me like a real pimp, I can't lie. Like a magma named Slickback, I can't lie. So on night 32, we get to the Night Lord, meaning we're on Night Lord 3 out of 8. I like how this music sped up sounds like a Super Smash Bros. Thing. But yeah, this boss is pretty simple. I was targeting the body, but it has a little butterfly come up over its back and shoot out things. That was my archer's issue and not mine. I was just locked in. And honestly, this run went amazing. We were putting in so much damage, but the question is, could we win? He went into his second phase, my teammate went down. Things were looking a little more grim all of a sudden.
Welcome to the Round Table Hold, brave champion. I am but a humble attendant, here to serve your needs. By all means, do make yourself at home.
And that we do, ladies and gentlemen. Buying every single gesture we possibly can. At this point, I found the remembrance book, so I decided to give it a whirl. Day 33. Obviously, I take out a camp. Easy does it. At this point, the dragon was unlucky enough to run into me, so I had to give him the Game of Thrones treatment. Show him what them arrows do. Lay the big beast down. Kinda took me a moment, but I had it. Getting up in this basement, I find out that a wolf is waiting for me, but after taking him out, he has legendary loot, so I get the Hand of Millennia. Let's go! After clearing out those basement type areas, you are always able to go and grab a talisman, but it's behind these bums. You can always run right past them and go up the stairs, but I like to take them out. Extra runes. On night 33, me and my team of randoms get to go up against the Black Knight Kindred. There was no real harm of losing here, but it was a drawn out battle because someone told this dude he's the main character in the anime. I don't know who did. Bro is not a Night Lord. Well, on to day 34. Clearing out this basement is always smart, followed by the middle floor and the top if you got the time and your teammates do want to clear it with you. On top of killing the Guardian, because just a whole bunch of more runes for you to level up, but hey, everyone played different. But yeah, completing here, we got up to the Guardian Golem and take out his bum ass. Walking around, things are peaceful, maybe too peaceful.
That's when my teammate gets dropped by a bell bearing hunter, and the fight is on. But yeah, this tough SOB's walking right through my arrows, coming straight at me. I'm trying my best to not run into rocks, because this area is pretty limited. I was afraid I was going to jump off the cliff, but of course I didn't. I'm too ill for that. And at this point I started to realize the bell bearing hunters aren't to be messed with. My teammates kept on going down. I kept on grabbing aggro so that they can pick up each other. I honestly thought the fight was going good, and with enough time we would eventually beat them. What I didn't know is we wouldn't get that time and the storm would stop us from actually beating them, and now we're in Mountaintop Hill of the Giants. It is what it is. Being very unfriendly in this new snowy environment, I start taking out everything that I see. These little demi-humans didn't stand a chance at all. Ran into the flower dude. Gave the bout to him in his own catacomb. You know how I do. At this point you get to find out that the Yetis and the ginormous dogs are still beefing in the mountaintop, just like they are in Elden Ring before you fight the fire giant. It's actually crazy. The beef transferred over to a whole nother game. I guess it's just rooted in them like dogs and cats. But yeah, you get to interrupt the fight and get an easier fight and try to take them both out. But if you don't take them out within a certain time, you end up despawning. The guy before this boss has like an arrow launcher that launches fire arrows so fast that just end up killing you if they hit you. Which is so crazy that I just decided that I have to take out this dude before I do anything. And now my teammate kind of realized we just dunked his ass. That character's crazy, bro. You saw how he dropped me and my teammate back to back. Night boss was Tree Sentinel and 2 other horseback riders, so it took quite a while. But we low-key had it in the bag, I think. You can't make this shit up. They both died trying to save me. Coming off that loss, the next day started, and we were destroying bosses like it was nobody's business. The world bosses didn't stand a chance. The question is, could I give the same treatment to the night boss though? This Fathom of Night boss is different because it has a status ailment that makes you go to sleep. So the fight feels kind of drawn out and long because every time the boss does this AoE attack, it puts all of us Nightfarers to bed. I wasn't too sure how to counter it. I never actually found it out. Later on I will say how to counter the Madness one, but I don't think it was the same way for this fight, but I could be wrong. This fight isn't too challenging, and I did end up first trying it, which amazed me. Well, pretty much second trying because I died to the bosses before it in the last one, but that doesn't count. I first tried this boss, but yeah, this boss was a hassle. It just charges at you and puts you straight to bed, and has these hands that like smack you around like those inflatable 2 people. But yeah, we wrapped them up. Night 37, I killed yet another Night Lord. We're making incredible progress, and it only gets easier from here. Before I started that boss fight, I actually turned on my remembrance, and winning with my remembrance song got me this cutscene. Which, cutscenes are scarce, so I'll show you it in full.
I see it now.
I can see clearly now, the rain is gone.
Shrouded by haze, yet clear as day.
These nuts got you here.
A sign of the root of all ill, of the thing we must needs slay. The onset of night. The time has come. We now face the primordial Night Lord. It will be
I don't even know
unlike
what
any
she's
other
talking
battle.
about, but yeah, remember me talking about something that only gets easier from here? Yeah, I was lying. Let me show you what I was really dealing with. We're gonna drop the day counter at this point. Do you see this robe wearing bastard trying to make a deal with me? This is Libra, the reason why I'm dropping the day counter. I thought it would take me 20 to 40 tries to beat him. It didn't take me the full 100 days. I beat him within 78 days. But this man is madness, literally. He does this attack that's AoE, hits everyone around the place, and for the first 20 times fighting him, I didn't see these things. Do you see those yellow glowing things? That is what you pick up to stop the madness, and I didn't even process it till like my 20th time fighting against him. And by the time I understood his moveset, my teammates just didn't. This guy is absolutely diabolical, and I see so much memes of him. He ended up being, it seems, the community's favorite Nightfarer. Probably just due to the absurd difficulty. I heard he later on got nerfed, but I beat this game within 3 days of it coming out, so like I literally beat it like the night that the solo nerf came out, so I don't know nothing about that. I just sweated my balls off and it wasn't enough. So here's a montage of me dying to this goat. Literal goat looking thing. The Wilder really used the Weeping Grace for one more shot at like coming back and getting us and just doing the game right. He picks us both up. We honestly have one more shot though. You don't get the montage just yet. Although we lost, that was an extremely good run. Like, this was one of my favorite runs. That Wilder really was trying his ass off, the same with the execution. GG to them, but we just couldn't do it. This time going back down into the lava drop, we actually do beat the magma worm, meaning I get a legendary upgrade, just upgrading my bow to legendary. And it got to the point where my teammates went down. I tried to fight him without my teammates, and he ultimately got stuck doing a move. So I tried to pick up my teammates as he was stuck doing the move. Which honestly, this could have been the right play. My teammate didn't get the brilliant idea to unfreeze him. We so could have taken advantage of the fact that we can all dodge that, but they can't even dodge it. So we unfroze them, and we all ended up dying anyways. It is what it is.
How could this happen to me? I made
Three hours later. That's Libra down, and from here the game actually got easier. Psych! aren't dead set on leaving. Kill the first boss, the centipede demon, and uh-oh, look at what I find on the way to the second boss. Darth Vader? Yet another monstrosity coming after me. For the final boss to ultimately be a dragonkin, the ultimate big monstrosity. Like, what is up with these strong ass foes in the rotten area, man? This place crazy. After a lengthy battle, me and my team all got poisoned through. We did end up getting the best of the dragonkin. Showed him who the real soldier of Godric was. God tier boss. Little did he know he actually stumbled into my boss arena.
Ah, shit. Here we go again.
At this point, I died to the Nameless King and not even the actual end boss. On the next run, I successfully destroyed this asshole. It was a very satisfying win, I can tell you that much. So to put it into perspective in like the way I titled the video and I wanted to set it up, this kill took me 84 in-game days to get. So by then I just knew that the run was cooked. I just had too much bosses to go. So I kept 100 days in mind, but I knew that it was unattainable at this point. In this game I got cursed and I found the merchant because he's just marked on the map. And you can either fight him or just pay for it, and I just decided to pay for it. And if you pay for it, the guy is on your side and you can just start buying things from him. Don't actually need a beef with the guy. So I suggest honestly just paying them all. Moving along. This boss, the 6th boss, is a missed dragon that me and my team just simply were not ready. But I kept it in mind and was ready to turn up the next day. I don't know why, but I still feel like it's the slowest boss fight. It felt like it took even longer to damage it as it did the one that put you to sleep, Augur. But at the same time, they don't move as much as Augur did, but the mist and on top of like the fact that, yeah, I don't know, the health bar was just chunky and went down extremely slowly. So this fight was a hard one that took a lot of time. No exaggeration, probably 12 minutes just for the fight itself, which is a little crazy because when it's so fast paced with so much damage happening. That wasn't the case with this dragon. Luckily for me though, I didn't have to go through it and through it, because on my second attempt I was able to win. With 3 days gone from the last attempt, one of my 84, another 3 days, we're in around 95, 96 end-day games. So yeah, at this point I pretty much failed my challenge. So for the rest of the video, I'll just show off the bosses which we haven't talked about yet and how I enjoy fighting them. And yeah, enjoy this boss fight. The challenge ain't over just yet. I'm on day 96. If I can one try the night aspect, the final boss of Elden Ring Nightreign, that means I've beaten the game in 100 in-game days. Are you guys ready? I in fact did not beat the game in 100 days because the Nameless King on the end of night 2 ended up being on fucking steroids and just pounding me and my team. Love to see it. Of course, on my next run, someone just straight leaves us. Great. Glad they bought the game to be trash and just start leaving it. Smart investment. Me and my team were able to take down the natural born in Nacoletto, and ultimately got the dancers from Dark Souls 3 boss fight for night 2. Although this run is extremely good and we all had legendary loot, the night aspect was just too much. Like, look at him fly into the air. Who do you think he is? The super tarnished? Three more hours later. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna let the final boss fight and cutscene play. If you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
talking to me, talking to you. Cause I woke up in a dream, and to tell you the truth, I really don't think there's no one better than you. Smoke your propane, got me acting a fool. Bitch, I'm up on the moon.